Sinjao, what's up everybody? Alright, we're just gonna walk around and talk. TET is definitely getting super busy here. It's a Tuesday night at like 8:30 and there's a crap ton of people out. Like, TET is starting to go full force here. Festivals are starting to get filmed. I mean, you've just got people everywhere. The Flower Festival, I think, opens Thursday for the first soft opening. I feel much better today. The dialogue here was not the best last time. I was too tired. I was sick. So I want to improve on it and make a better video for you all. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to do a little walking, check out the sights around here. So these Korean photo studios are getting super popular here. Like, these are all over Seoul. So when you walk around Seoul, you'll see college girls, high school girls, boys taking photos. These are starting to pop up in like a lot of areas and get really popular. So yeah, it's just crazy to see how many people are out for, you know, this late at night, and there's no way to go walk around them. So what's happening is all these businesses on the side are booming because no one can go sit on Winway and walk around Winway. It is still weird to me they bought the roundabout back on that at the end there. It doesn't make a lot of sense because that's where everybody was standing. I hope it's not permanent. I hope they did it just because of this, but I don't know. We shall see with time. So yeah, it's just going to be a lot of TET festivals this week. It's all going to be focused TET content. We'll dabble in some information videos as well. But for the most part, it's TET. It's so wild how many fancy cars you see in Saigon now. These cars cost double of what they would cost in America. And that's $100,000. That's $250,000 here. Double and some. Imagine spending $250,000 to drive around a Porsche SUV. That loses a lot of value. That's not one of the. It's one of the worst Porsche investments you can make is their SUV. It just goes down in value so fast. We had a turbo Cayenne. That thing wasn't worth shit towards its after 5 years. For a while, you could buy a turbo Cayenne in LA for like $8 grand. I don't know what the price is now, but they're riddled. The first ones are riddled with issues. Got a big motor though. As you can see, it looks done to me. They're letting in photographers and early filming crews to do a preview. It looks nice, you know. Hopefully it's not caged in. Hopefully they remove all the caging. They caged us in last year to try to prevent COVID, which you can't prevent COVID, so like, especially with cages. We all know that now. We shot one of the TET festivals before this. It's full of people. There's just a lot of people out. And the streets are buzzing. Look at this. Look how many people are doing laps around Winway on a Tuesday night. It's wild. I think TET's going to be the biggest it's been in years. Sounds like a lot of people are here for TET. Traffic's cray. I'll be full on work mode. I feel pretty recovered from, pretty recovered from being sick. So the vlogs will just be better again. We've got a Korean live streamer on Africa TV over here. We're gonna be doing live streams during the day as well. There's gonna be a lot of moving parts going on this week. We had a little downturn in content, but I simply was working and I was pretty sick for like a solid week, so it was amazing that I even pumped out the content that I did in the condition I was in. You know, I was working till 4 a.m. On top of live streaming, like, I keep a pretty good schedule. These white chicks don't want to die. Look how nervous they are. They're like, oh my god, just let me cross the road. Don't fall. Pretty cute. Want to look at the flowers. What's that? actually a pretty good view. You got another YouTuber here with a shoulder mount on a GoPro. I don't think he's a YouTuber. He might be taking home video like Dad used to in the 90s and 80s and 2000s. Shout out if you remember that in the comment section. Let me know if your dad was a early vlogger before vlogging existed. My dad was. My dad was doing essentially what you would call vlogging. Second camcorders came out, man. He was doing the 70s, 80s, 90s, then tapered off in the 2000s. But he was into it. And if you kind of think about it, holding around the big VHS camcorder, like while Christmas is going on, you know, keeps you busy. And you're capturing moments. We'll walk around here in a second. This is just an abundant amount of traffic for a Tuesday night around here. I don't know why they have this stone down here, to block motorbikes from driving through. But I mean, how many nice cars have we seen here now? What do we got coming up here? An Audi? Even the TT, that thing's probably 120 grand here. Maybe 150. I always like TTs. Good looking car. Audi overall usually makes pretty good looking cars. Not the best value holders either. I think Porsche is one of the better of the cheaper high-end cars for value. Oh, we got the flute lady over here serenading people with no choice. Let's go walk around. Let's go take a look at some of the stuff. We got an opening in traffic here. I definitely got multiple thumbnails on multiple occasions, so. Yeah, you let me know what else you want to see during this week. If you've got an area that you know about where I don't know about, that you want me to go film some stuff for TET, go ahead and let me know. If you know about TET festivals and stuff too, it's hard to find that stuff. I'll ask my wife. Wow, look at this lady. Jesus Christ. She's beautiful. iPad photo. She looks good. Saxophone guy. I shot some content for the members only as well. So we're at our 4th video today. There's gonna be lots of members only content. On top of that, I'm still shooting Patreon content. On top of that, Patreon's gonna have the How to Be a YouTuber series first video drop this week. So if you're a budding YouTuber and you wanna know what my advice would be, and you always wanna ask me, you'll be able to go on Patreon, sign up for a tier, and then you'll have access to it. Jesus. Some level of women out tonight. There's just so many people out for a Tuesday. This is the TET effect. You know, a lot of people say Vietnam or Saigon's completely dead during TET. I've never experienced that. It's always been pretty busy. There's like a day, there's about 2 days where things are pretty slow. But like you could still go eat food and do everything. There's like 2 really hardcore days. It's usually the first 2 days. It's like this weekend. And I'll kind of explain TET, like, I'm gonna explain the process of how TET works. If you're in a family and you're in a Saigonese family, I'm gonna go home for the first day of TET with my wife to her house, and I'm gonna clean their house. They really only hardcore clean the house once a year, and it's for TET. So that will take, we'll wash every motorbike, change oil on motorbikes if the motorbikes need changed oil, and then we will clean the whole house. We will power wash the alley, we will power wash the area, we will literally deep clean everything, you know. A lot of houses have like a little gate that comes across. They'll pull the gate out, power wash the gate. This will take pretty much all day. And this is kind of the first party, not party. And we will then drink beer, and then we will eat food. That's kind of day one. And then day two is focused more on good food and stuff like this, and just drinking. No labor done. And then one year, when Ba opened that restaurant that didn't work out because the location wasn't that great, we cleaned that restaurant for like 2 days, which I have no problem doing. If you didn't know, I'm a super like clean guy. So even though I look kind of fat and sloppy, I like my house to be clean and things to be clean. So putting me to clean something is a task that I actually thoroughly enjoy. So for me, it's pretty fun. So that's kind of how TET goes. And then on the final celebration night of TET, we'll buy a bunch of fireworks. I'll buy a tree, of course, that day. You guys have seen that video, I think, 3 years in a row. I'll buy a tree for the house. Actually, Bob might buy one this year because he's making pretty decent money at his job. And the food will be better this year. Things will be upgraded because my wife's dad actually has had a job all year that's been stable and pays money. So he'll actually contribute. I was kind of picking up the ball in the years previous, but now we kind of dual contribute. I'll buy all the alcohol and stuff like this. That's Sunwalk Tower. Saw you walking at Sunwalk. Why don't you say hello? It's because I'm shooting a vlog. Shout out to Trang Vigera. She's at Sunwalk having a coffee. Maybe I'll double back over there and talk to her. I'm not going to throw impromptu video at her though right now. So if you've never seen Trang Vigera's channel, she doesn't YouTube frequently, but she makes pretty high-end content. Go check her out. Super nice girl. And her channel's pretty good. She's a Vietnamese that moved to America to marry an American, I think. And they recently had a child, and they've been back here for a while. I think if she was more consistent in her vlogging, she'd probably do a little bit better with that. So like this would be normally a pretty big walking area, but like since they've made this the roundabout now, it's kind of just got like people parked here and like looking at the early TET deal. There's the cat. This is what the year of the cat, so we're very focused on the cat. So that is like what TET looks like. So I was explaining, we'll buy fireworks, we'll get the tree, and then we'll get a lot of fancy food. And then it's like New Year's Eve. Once it turns midnight on the final, whatever the major night is, I always forget which night it is. I don't know why it's so long, because it really is truly technically only one day. So we'll light off the fireworks at midnight, drink some more beer, and then me and Winnie tend to go home at like 1 or 2. And then Winnie will then go back out for a week, pretty much, and go hang out with her friends and play cards. She'll go stay back at home. And that's my one time a year where I'm not with my wife for a week here. And I go out, and I do crazy things. Not really, but that's how our TET works. Now, other guys might hang out through the whole thing with their wife or girlfriend, but for me, I can't sit around and play cards for 6 days in a row. That's essentially what they do. I'm okay with doing the 2 to 4 days, helping out with all the stuff, contributing financial-wise to, beer and food and stuff like this. But yeah, there's a certain threshold. Look at this. This is just ridiculous. This makes 0 sense. Tell me in what kind of way does this make sense to have this? And the reason why I say this is because this has been a walking street ever since I moved here. This has never been a roundabout. When I first moved here the first year, you could drive a motorbike through just this area, and it wasn't a full roundabout. Like, they're getting TET fireworks right there. So that's what that girl's holding. You've seen it on the videos if you're a fan of the channel. You'll see it again this year. It'll be the same. It'll be the same thing, you know. I'll show the same thing, and it's kind of always the same. You know, there's so many new subscribers to the channel that it'll be a new experience for a lot of the people watching. I try to dabble in new stuff too, but you know, there's only so much new things I can dabble in, you know. I put out a monstrous amount of content, and I still have to keep putting out that monstrous amount of content, you know. It does look really good this year, the cat thing. That's the biggest thing I've ever seen them set up. So they focused really heavily on that. So I think kudos and bravo to all that. So that's kind of TET explained. Also, during that day, that main TET night when we light off the fireworks, this is when the lucky money is exchanged to the family. So we'll give money to the family in envelopes. It's not a lot. We're not rich people. And then the parents will give us each money back as well. Very small amount. Oddly, funnily, my wife's family gives $2 bills out. American $2 bills in a red envelope. That's their TET to their like children, I guess, type deal. So I found that pretty entertaining the first year. I'm like, is this a $2 American bill? And it was. Got a guy in his Mercedes. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? So that's kind of like how TET looks. It's not too crazy of a deal. Personally, I couldn't do the full like all day TET experience or all week, the whole thing. I think it's like 10 days or something, 11 days. I always screw that up, man. It seems to me like it's really only 4 days, 3 days, and then the rest is just going to like, you know, friend's house and playing cards and sitting around eating food again. So for me, it's an experience I can do only for a few days, you know. And then on top of that, I have a job. I have to make videos. I got content to make. I can't take off days. It's tough for me to even take off one day and be sick, you know. As soon as I'm not putting out content every day, that drops the bottom line, you know. You know, I don't like dropping down in revenue per month. So that's why I'm consistent. And I try to come up with good stuff to talk about that's consistently good, that keeps you coming back, and it's not like wash and repeat. Sure, we're walking around the same area today, but I did not explain ever really how TET works on my channel. So that's the video, guys. Thank you for watching. Stay frosty. We'll see you for more TET content coming up. See you on the next one. Peace out.